We are the restaurant brokers, and we sell restaurants.
We started the nation's largest restaurant brokerage firm over a decade ago.
Atlanta, Georgia was our starting point, but our brand is spreading nationwide. We define restaurant brokerage and help buyers just like these.
Our dream, our goal, open up a restaurant, loving life, serving people breakfast and lunch, and then enjoying the rest of the day with them and ourselves.
Buying an existing restaurant, leasing a closed restaurant space, or purchasing a restaurant franchise. We help buyers satisfy their appetite for acquisition.
I'm part of a husband and wife team with this fella.
Working with my wife has been a lot of fun. The ultimate goal for everybody here is to make this work. And because we have different strengths, we bring different angles to the deal.
The process begins with our powerhouse website, WeSellRestaurants.com, where buyers sign online confidentiality agreements and browse restaurants for sale.
Then we send buyers undercover to check out a restaurant and decide if it's the right one for them.
Buyers get our proprietary business analysis tool with all the financial details on the business for sale.
After studying the restaurant inside and out, it's back to our office.
We're deal makers. We write contracts and negotiate terms for buyers and sellers. That's why we sell more restaurants than any other firm in the nation. We are the restaurant brokers. Our name says it all. That sound means you're back on the air with the Restaurant Brokers and Eric and Robin Gagnon. Today we have been talking with these James Beard Award Foundation winners. Eric, I think it's so exciting because we get to hear firsthand what life is like when you're nominated for this award. And now we're going to talk about restaurant reality, because the reality is these guys don't see it coming. You know, no one tells them. I was amazed. Like there's no real process. You don't know. It's all kind of happens behind the scenes in secret. And then, boom, the list comes out, the website crashes. Am I there? Am I not there? Your Twitter feed blows up. Everything happens at one time. I love it. It was a great story, right?
I know, because, we actually started to cast for this show. We wanted James Beard's Award judges, and they said they don't exist. So we couldn't get them on the show, so we had to go with the nominees. And is it similar to a restaurant? You don't know when the crowd's going to come. You can get, real busy. Things change in a heartbeat. And this is what happened to these chefs. And they did it not with the intent of that. That was very interesting. Their drive, their passion.
Yeah, it was interesting because I did ask that question. Is it the chicken or egg? Do you set out, you're in culinary school, and you say, okay, what's at the end of the line for me? Because I don't know. People in acting, maybe they say, yeah, that's the Oscars. I want that. I want the Academy Award. And this is really on the same par for the food industry. So do they set out saying that's my goal, or do they just say this is about what's internal to me, my passion, my love of the food, the way in which I go out and taste everything I see? I love this one guy, Frank, was it? His OOE?
Yep.
He and a couple of chefs go out, one of everything. Love that. How many of our restaurateurs that are listening to this show have done that recently? Gone to somewhere where there's a lot of buzz. Maybe your kids are talking about something, or your nephews or folks are making you aware that there's something out there that's highly interesting. I love that idea. Go out there, sit in the restaurant, soak up the ambiance, get those new ideas, get that excitement flowing through your own veins, and try that one of everything and figure out what flavor profiles are getting that restaurant talked about.
Absolutely. One thing that our panelists said today is it's not just the food, it's the entire package. It's the front of the house, it's the back of the house, it's the entire team. And that's one thing that, as restaurant broker in our book Appetite for Acquisition, we talk about putting your team together before you even open your restaurant to get you success. And this looks like it continues. You have to have an entire team. So it's not just a great chef. When you get the James Beard Award, it's your entire team. And that's also important, because how many of you are in the restaurant business, whether you're an owner, whether you're a chef, whether you're a front of the house manager, food and beverage manager, whoever you are, you're very good at that one thing. But, you have weaknesses. It's very important to understand that and bring people that can actually make this, your team and your restaurant, stronger. And then you're going to compete. What's the downfall of that? There isn't. That's the beauty of it. Your restaurant will still be more successful if you apply some of these lessons that we learned today.
Right, and everybody can't be good at everything. There is no way. We talked to JJ. He is first Harlem chef ever nominated. He's the young gun on the panel, rising star. He's invented a form of cuisine, Afro-Asian cuisine, that no one's ever heard about inspired by his own travels. And that's a piece and a part of this. The thing that brings someone back to a restaurant again and again is that they can feel that underlying passion, that underlying commitment. We have talked about this. We actually talk about this in the book a little bit, is that, a restaurant's different from virtually any other business. The earliest memories that we have as individuals are breaking bread with someone else. You go to that restaurant on the corner and your grandparents celebrated their anniversary there. Then before you knew it, you were going there for your prom date. And then that's followed up, and all of a sudden that prom date's gone, and that's the woman you're going to marry, and the ring comes out with the dessert and the champagne. I mean, restaurants are really woven into the fabric of American culture, unlike anything else. And so there's that mixture between staying connected, being vibrant, being part of the community, and also going out and exploring new ideas and bringing those into the cuisine. So I probably got a little off topic there, but I do think there's an emotional bond, even in this high-tech world that we're living in. That restaurant's still the last high-touch place where the front of the house matters. Those flavors and the love and the feeling and the experience that goes into the food makes the difference about who comes in the door. And then let them explode on Twitter and talk about it and tweet about it and everything else. But there's that connection still matters, and it's an emotional one.
And that's a very good point, Rob. And also, when we speak to a lot of restaurant owners, it says, it's good enough. I can get by with this. Or, I know we're weak over there, but I'm okay with it. What we heard today from a lot of people that spoke with us today is you got to go for perfection. And if you strive for perfection, and a lot of owners say you cannot achieve perfection. That may be true, but if you keep trying, what's the downfall of falling short, 2% of perfection? You're going to get better and better if you strive for perfection. The minute you settle that you are happy with what you have, this is when it starts going backwards. So it's very important for you in your restaurant, challenge your staff, challenge yourself. And you'll be surprised about the results. You may not win a James Beard Award. You may not be nominated to James Beard, but you sure may win the local best restaurant in your community. You may be invited to be a guest judge at some event. You may be invited to be on Top Chef or, Cutthroat Kitchen. Or you'll be surprised the unintended consequences that will actually benefit your restaurant. So it is very important. I think that was a very, very quick comment that actually I took to my notes to share with you, because it is important to strive for perfection in this industry, because like Robin said, it creates long-lasting memories. If these memories will not be perfect, what if I remember that I proposed to Robin in a restaurant and the waiter brought the dessert without the ring, or he dropped it on the floor on the way to the table?
You're in big trouble, buddy.
That's right. Would I remember that for the rest of my life, or do I want this moment to be perfect? So think through this on every occasion, or everybody walks to your restaurant. You may or may not know what they're celebrating, but they are there to make that moment special and close to perfect as they can.
Well, and I think that everybody's a little bit competitive. I know, as restaurant brokers, we're a whole lot competitive. We are determined, and we now sell more restaurants than anyone else in the country, period. And, now that I know that, I won't slip from that position. I want to make sure. And these young chefs, man, they were pretty competitive too. And I think that's a piece you have to have. You can't just be complacent. There is a real place for competitiveness, especially think about 10 years ago. We didn't have the Cooking Channel and Food Network and network television shows and all this focus on food and foodies. We didn't have Twitter. We didn't have social media going wild. So there is a very competitive edge to what's happening in the food industry, and you really do have to pay attention or you're going to be left behind.
Yes, and you also got to get out of your four walls. We talk about that so many times. Read. Travel. Maybe if you're a restaurant owner and you want to attract a good young chef, maybe you cannot afford one of these already nominated chef or somebody with a background. What you can do is a part of their compensation package, you say, hey, once a year I'll allow you XYZ amount of money for travel. And they don't have to go, all the way to Asia or to Africa. Maybe they can go, we heard, I think Justin said, hey, I went to San Francisco. One of the, Frank and, in Las Vegas. Sorry, right. I mean, he goes right with chef. They just go to local places, but maybe allow them a budget to go and expand and experience the cuisine of other chefs, other inspiration. I think it would be a great thing to do, and maybe make a new chef feel special that you will allow him to go and experience other cuisines and things like that.
Well, I think that's a good idea. Bring some young guns on board and then listen to what they have to say. Don't get so caught in your own ideas. that you don't listen. Hey, and speaking of listening, we appreciate each and every one of you listening this week as we satisfy your appetite for acquisition and feed the need for restaurant reality. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon, the restaurant brokers from We Sell Restaurants, the nation's largest restaurant brokerage company in the nation. Join us here this week and every week, same time.